upon us. Give us your wisdom and let us make decisions according to your word, according to your wisdom, Lord. We ask it in Jesus' name.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the process of the minutes from the August 15th meeting, approved.
No, second.
Motion second. Any questions or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, committee reports. Start off in the chamber.
As you all know, September is our busiest tourism month with 2 festivals happening this weekend and then the popular Delta Fair at the end of the month. We've submitted those events to various travel websites and magazines, and Kennett received notable mentions in Missouri Life and Show Me Missouri for all 3 festivals that we have. So just want to remind the public that those events are happening. Please stay in town and spend your dollars with these organizations that have put on these events for us, and be welcoming to all of the citizens from other towns who will be coming here to visit us. With that also being said, I would like to ask your permission tonight to use $500 from the tourism fund to place an advertisement in Show Me Missouri magazine to advertise duck hunting for the winter season.
Make a motion. Second.
Motion second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and that's all I have, Mr. Anderson. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Finance committee.
We don't have anything tonight other than our income the first couple of years. Sales tax was slightly higher. Our revenue was slightly lower, and most of our expenses are within budget.
Fire committee.
Have nothing at this time, Jonathan,
Human resource.
I believe we are good at this time. We still do need to have another meeting about the pay scale, but other than that, we're good.
Police.
I don't believe we have anything for the public at this time.
Street.
We've started working on our plans for the new tax and trying to come up with how we want to go about dealing with that, and kind of the best course of action for equipment, the whole works. Because the stormwater and the street department are going to obviously have to work together in some manner, so we're trying to kind of get an idea of that. And then we're also looking towards trying to make plans with City Light, Gas and Water on what their future is in terms of working on their infrastructure so that we can coordinate it with our developing the streets and working with Main Street development and all that. So we're going to keep working towards working together. That's it.
Good. Other reports, street department.
Really don't have very much for you tonight. Most of it's in the report that's given to you. We spent a lot of time helping the park department. Basketball goal was put up at the Willoughby Park. Actually being paid for by Carrying Council grant, but it's on park department property, and we did some work to get some old concrete out of there and provided a lot of the base material back for the concrete there. And then I think I reported to you before that the sidewalk at South School is completed. You can see how many hours we put in on that. We still got to put the signs up. I think I got the last ones in today. I didn't unpackage the cardboard, but I think the last one came in on that. The only other thing really is the people to seal the asphalt will be in town tomorrow. They were scheduled today because of the tentative weather. They held off till tomorrow. So just a reminder to you all and the city vehicles that when there's cones out, there's going to be fresh oil on the road. And when you drive around the cone, the the city's not going to, and the contractor's not gonna pay you to have the oil taken off your car when you drive around the corners, so. Just an FYI, okay? So, we'll be making some progress with that the rest of the year. That's really all I have.
Thank you. All right.
Had a fairly quiet weekend under the fire. I guess last holiday of the year, people pretty well celebrated the holiday in a safe manner, unlike before. It was pretty quiet on that end. I did get notice with the hurricane that hit Texas, emergency management and state sent out a notice and a matrix, and we kind of fell off a little bit on it. Several years ago, for those who've been on here a while, had to go through the NIMS training, where you take the little, read the little program, take the little test. There's two categories for elected officials. One's called IS 100 and IS 700. This is the National Incident Management System, where you understand the concept of it. I'll work with city clerk where we get that, where you can either do it at home or come up here and get it done. It doesn't take all that long, and then we're gonna have to go back at any new employees that we've hired in the last couple of years, make sure that they have it. Where this can affect us is if we have some form of a presidential declaration of a disaster for the city or county or the area. If we don't have it in place, it could cost us. It could reduce the amount of funding reimbursement that we would get. So we'll pick that back up. Also, we have to attest to that when we apply for the emergency management grant again next year. So I've got the matrix here, and I'll be working on getting some of that done, and we'll put it out hopefully when we can start doing it. I don't know of any other issues. Y'all got the email from him on the animal control issues last week that we hopefully got resolved there. And in the code, we had a meeting on a couple of buildings, and we're gonna get back to the owners on it. Got an opinion from the city attorney on the city's liability, and what we need to do will be closing the sidewalk off in front of the old Spence building to reduce our liability until
Where's
such time.
the Spence building?
Right, it's right there as first St. Francis comes into the square.
Okay, the building we
Yes.
talked about tearing down. Okay.
We're gonna block that off and close the sidewalk there and in the back. And we'll be reaching out to the official owners of the building, and it's gonna be their responsibility on demolition. Hopefully they'll save the city quite a bit of money. We can move on with some of the other properties that have been more or less abandoned or people don't have it from. So, any other questions? I'll have a report on the fire activities at the next meeting.
I have speaking of buildings, what about the Old Borden's barbecue that's been burnt for?
It is burnt, but they haven't boarded up. We don't have any roofs falling in on it. I mean, that's what we try to look at. If a building starts really becoming dilapidated, if you'll look at the garages across the street here behind the alleyway, yeah. Well, that was probably, you could probably put paper on it years ago. Now the roofs are opened up, falling in, and it's getting to the state of repair. And that person's been notified on that.
But somebody had asked me about it, and
Yeah.
I wasn't for sure. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Sort of common theme tonight, not much going on. Business is pretty much slowed down over the last couple of weeks, which is good on our part. Applied for a couple of grants, one through the FBI and the other through Merman, so I should have something shortly on that. So that should be around $15,000 and maybe more for us. But other than that, y'all have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
skip over the mayor's report. I really don't have anything to report other than, and I echo what Steve was saying about the budget. First couple of months, the income overall is down. Sales, not the sales tax, but the general revenue is down. Fortunately, overall, the departments are operating under budget, almost identical numbers, so good job of keeping costs under control. We should be getting the sales tax report in either latter part of this week, first part of next week, so we'll have that, and probably looking to schedule a finance committee meeting after we get that information in, make some decisions. Read the national news, they're always going to put a positive spin on it. Everybody's looking up and looking great, but somehow it doesn't seem to filter down. Well, our numbers are looking all that great. Y'all are doing a good job of holding costs down. Appreciate that. This time, we'll open up for public comments.
Good evening. Dr. Chancellor. I spoke with Mitzi last week about the CDBG grant, and the notification has been pushed to the 15th through the 20th. So hopefully by the next meeting, because the 15th next Friday. So sometime in through there, hopefully we'll hear it. So 15th through the 20th. Yeah, so hopefully something right in through there would be it. A couple of other aspects. We know the fair's coming up, and we're wondering if, down St. Francis, in case it rains over, 2-3 days before that, a week before, that'll take up a lot of parking spots where everyone's playing in the mud. We can get some, road grader, some chat or something up and down St. Francis to fill in some of the holes and things up and down through there. Would be really nice, just so that, because how many thousands of people come in town that day. True. And then the only other aspect thing, this was, I was driving the church bus Sunday, and I came up on Emerson and Everett, that there's no stop sign or yield sign either direction. For me, I know to, slow down, but it's, we had a new kid I was taking home, and it's ended up there, and it's like, and so, yeah, there was, but I'm pretty sure it was Emerson and Everett. Or not Emerson and 8th. Yeah, 8th and Everett. There we go. I'll get it right here in a minute. Yeah, 8th Street, and because I had to turn off at 8th, and yeah, so 8th and Everett. But besides that, I'm just waiting until the first 15th to the 20th.
Keep our fingers crossed.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Is this the time you make your speech, Jim?
No, that'll be next time.
We got Danny too.
You can try.
so.
You can try tonight.
That was a quick response. You want to counsel have anything to bring up? This may not be a record, but it's going to be off the chart.
It is.
5 minutes is the record.
Wow.
We're
I wasn't on council then.